Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. I am super excited as we have started a new tradition this year, 2021. So y'all come on in, just join right in. I have been waiting for you all day. Come on in. While you're on your road to your destiny, why not be the best you by following my basic principles to build your best life? I welcome everyone, whether you are viewing from Nigeria, Jamaica, Canada, the Bahamas, Washington State, Florida, Texas, New York, wherever you are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. YouTube fans, Facebook fans, and Periscope fans, welcome to Build Your Best Life. You know, it takes a village to raise our children, and that's from the time that they are young and as they get older. And as they get older, the more we need that village to instill principles into their lives before they get out there and try to do everything on their own. So it is key that we have that village. So for 2021, every week I am featuring a chat with a parent, an educator, a pastor, or a youth or young adult. That way we can get the perspective from everyone, what is needed to assist our young men in being the best that they can be. We know that they have obstacles. There are many things out there that are saying that they can't, they won't be able to. They're just about that life. They're not doing anything. But I know it not to be true. I know that they're smart, they are equipped, they are trying. Some of them need a hand up. And the more of us that get together and work together to give them that hand up, the better for them. You know, you were young once, I was young once. I didn't know everything. I thought I did. And then, you know, as you get older, you say, boy, if I knew then what I know now. But it would be so very nice if we could take all the information that we need, package it up, give it to the young people, they unwrap it and say, wow, this is a gift, and take it and utilize it to assist them on their paths to being better. It would be so fantastic. But we're going to keep working at it and working on it until we get it right, or we can get the information to our young people. They're thriving. They are anxious to, hey, what do they have for me next? And that was some very helpful information I got last week or the week before. So I want to know what's out there for me this week. And the more that we can give them those tools that are assisting them and being the best that they can be, the better off for them and the better off for our communities, our cities, our states, our nation, and the world. Because again, our young people want to be the best that they can be. Some of them haven't realized that yet. Others have. They don't, and they may not have anyone that's there to assist them at this time. They may have a person that's right there, but they aren't aware. They don't know to ask that person. That person is willing to assist them. All they have to do is ask, or maybe don't look so mean all the time, have a pleasant look on their face, and that person will step up and be willing to assist them. So it is whatever we can do to assist our young people to get them where I know that they can be. We have scientists, actors, entrepreneurs, artists, singers, dancers, writers, filmmakers, cinematographers, you name it, we have it, but they just need the information, so where do I start? If this is where I want to be in life, where do I start now? Now, we always talk about goals and planning. Our young people need to know where to start. We need to be able to give them that information so they know, okay, this is where I'm trying to get. I know nothing right now. Where do I start? What type of classes do I need to begin to take? Is there a specialty college that I need to attend? What is it that I need that's going to help me to get where I need to go? Is it going to be is it going to take me 5 years, 10 years? How long is it going to take me to get where I need to be? Because they need to plan for that. If it's going to take, 10 years, then they need to know, they need to know that and need to know, well, what am I going to do in the meantime? Is there a special finance that I need to get? Do I need to begin to look for scholarships? What do I need to get where I need to go? Because, when you make your plans, you make them for 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, whatever. But you need that plan in order to get where you want to go. That is key. And so if we or others can provide our young people with that information to get them started, then it makes it all so much better. But as I started out saying, I've been thinking about this. I've been bringing people on my platform that have expertise in different areas because, of course, I don't know it all. I'm willing to share what I know, but I don't know it all. So I need those people that have expertise in order to assist as well. And then I began to think, hey, I'm always talking about, pastors and coaches and mentors, what have you. These are people that are out there that can assist as well. What if we have them on the platform so they can give their perspective as far as helping our young people? That would be great. So now they're just not getting a perspective from this lady that's trying to help young men to be better, even though I'm a mother, I've raised sons, and my sons are successful as far as, in my mind, they're successful young men with families, good jobs. But I know everyone does not want to hear from me all the time. So if we can get that village together to assist, then that would make it that much better. Thus, the different chats that we will be having. So again, we're going to be, I hope you tune in every Tuesday, because every Tuesday we will be chatting with a different area of the village. Educators, pastors, of course, from our youth and young adults. We want to hear what they have to say because they know what they're up against. They know where they're trying to go. They know what their barriers are. And then, of course, we have our parents. We want to hear from our parents. So tonight, we're going to hear from one of our parents. So tonight is Parent Chat. And so we are, super excited to have that and be ready to hear from that portion of our village. And I am super excited to have my special guest tonight, Miss Jocelyn Charles from Dallas, Texas.
Hi, Miss Deborah.
Hello, Jocelyn.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great, doing great. I'm so excited that you agreed to be on. So I'm going to introduce you, Jocelyn, to many of you who may not know her out there. But Jocelyn Charles is the mother of two teenage children, Damien and Doreen Charles. Her youngest, Noreen, is 14 years old and was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. Noreen is verbal, bright, and a very sweet young lady. She currently attends Notre Dame School in Dallas, Texas. It is the only school in the city catering to intellectually disabled children. Kudos to that school.
Yes.
Her oldest, Damien, is 16 years old, almost 17. He will be 17 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Damien. He is in he is a junior at Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts Theater Conservatory. He developed a passion for acting while in children's ministry at Pathway of Life Church and is now a leader of praise and worship after transitioning to the youth ministry. In addition to school and church, Damien is a member of the OCs, the Original Christians, a singing trio of teenage young men. Lastly, he is a member of the Boy Scouts and is currently working on completing his Eagle Scout rank before his 18th birthday. That is exciting.
Yeah.
Now, Jocelyn works full-time as a claims specialist. She has a business owner working part-time as a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant and has recently become a member of a referral-based online wellness shopping club. Lastly, she serves as a leader in the children's ministry and youth ministry at Pathway of Life Church. She continuously strives to get better with age and learning not to complain about her crazy busy life. So please join me in welcoming Miss Jocelyn.
Thank you, Miss Deborah. I am honored to be invited to be on your panel today. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So without any further ado, we're going to talk about tonight, again, this is our parent chat. And tonight we're talking about young men stay real. And one of the things I talk about is that young men need to be themselves. They should always ensure that they are number one. You know, as young men get older and they get into having their own families or whatever, we tend to say, well, you know, you need to put your family first, but you need to put yourself first. Because if you're not first and on top of everything, then how can you handle your family? So I think it's important to be yourself, be real, and make sure that you're number one. So tonight we want to make sure that you know that it's being real is much more important than being cool.
It is very much more important.
Yes. So, Jocelyn, do you believe it is important for a young man to appear cool to his peers or be himself regardless of what others think?
I believe it's absolutely best is in his interest and for all young men to be themselves and not try to be cool to his peers because you will be disappointed. They're going to always find something, even your peers, your closest friends, people are going to find something that they don't like about you. You will be rewarded when you are being yourself down the line. People will appreciate you more when you be yourself. And it's important to start that practice now, because if you continue that into your adult years, individuals, they see through that. When you're not living up to your full potential, you can't live up to your fullest potential if you're not being yourself. So you don't want to let down the creator who made you. There's nothing wrong with you. So be free and practice that now and being yourself so you can bless people. And it's rewarding. It feels
Very
so
much
good
so.
when you can identify with who you are flaws and all, because we all have flaws, right? So I just try to tell my son, it's okay to be yourself. You don't have to be perfect, because none of us are. Even the people you're trying to impress, they're not perfect either. Um, and there's nothing significant when you are just trying to be cool and do what everybody else is doing. There's nothing special about you when you're doing it that way. You're doing it all wrong when you do it that way. Be free to be yourself. I'm trying to teach him what I've learned late in life. Be your true, authentic self. It's much more rewarding, and it blesses not just you, it blesses your family and others and those connected to you when you're being yourself.
Oh, that's so true. And I think, if they look at it, it's really realistically, but we'll say spiritually, but God made us all. But just think about it. He made each one of us individually. And then after he made us, he just broke the mold. He didn't need that mold anymore. He's going to make the next person altogether different. So
That's
you
right.
are one and only. It's just one you.
Yes. And I want him to know that he is special. There's nothing wrong with you. And at the tender age where he is, it's hard to convince them of that at his age. Um, they see others peers getting more attention in one area or for one reason or another, and then they wonder, well, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. It's okay to be who you are. You are special. You are made in the likeness of God. And that's what I keep telling him and putting in him. And it used to be really, really bad, middle school years, because those years, your self-esteem is very fragile in those years. And so I am pleased and relieved to see him become a bit more confident and knowing who he is. And so it's not as bad as it used to be, but of course, still 16 going on 17, you still have to shape and mold and encourage. I have to give him encouragement to just be yourself. It's okay.
Right. It is. And, and another thing that they need to remember is, you're looking at other people and, idolizing them, but there's somebody sitting back watching you. So if you're not being your authentic self, then they're not really looking at you. They're looking at somebody else. So it pays off when you are yourself.
Yes.
And I just want to say good evening and welcome to Billy. Thank you for tuning in. And Tamika, Dan, and Peggy, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Share with someone. We're going to have some good stuff going on here tonight. But thank y'all for tuning in. All right. So now, what do you say to your child when you think they are selling out to impress their friends?
I'm sorry you broke up just a bit. I can't make out what you're asking.
Okay. What do you say to your child when you think they are selling out to impress their friends?
When I think he's selling out to impress his friends, I let him know you're selling yourself short, because um, you shouldn't really sell out to impress anybody. You should always be, yourself. And when you are not doing the works of God when you do that. You are just selling yourself short. You are not reaching for your fullest potential. You're more focused on them than you are yourself, your well-being, how it's going to bless you in your future. You are just really missing out on your own personal growth and development. It's a waste of time. And so if you're wasting your time selling out to these friends or to impress other people, a sellout to impress anyone is it stunts your own growth. And I would definitely let him know that. And I had to tell him that in so many words, I have to say it to him differently. But look, don't sell your soul for anybody. Don't be a sellout for anything that is short of who you really and truly are. Your morals, your values, the things that you honor. Don't throw those to the wayside, and don't acknowledge that, and don't hide those things just so you can impress somebody else, to let them know you down with them. You want to be in their clique. You think like they think, you act like they act. And even those individuals that you're trying to impress, as I stated before, they can sniff that out. And at the end of the day, you never get the level of respect that you're looking for. They know when you are just following the crowd.
Yes.
I,
And I've never
I've had to let him
understood
know that
this.
several times.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead, Jocelyn.
that was it. I've let him know that several times that, people can sniff that out. Even your peers, your adults, people can sniff that out when you are just not being true to who you are, when you're trying too hard. That's what I would call that. So don't go out your way to try to impress someone, and definitely don't be a sellout.
Right.
It's detrimental to your future.
It is. And they don't understand that. And especially that middle age going into, well, middle school going into high school. I've never understood why. But when they get that age, the kids don't want, they tease you when you do well in school. I've never been able to comprehend that. But when you're a real good student, you do well, your friends tease you, and then some of the kids will stop doing their work, doing their homework. Like they'll do it, they don't turn it in. You go to the school to find out what's going on with grades. Well, why didn't you turn this in? Well, I did it, but I just didn't turn it in. Okay, why? But I've never understood that. But you don't let anyone hold you down. It's just like somebody making you dummy yourself down. And that's something that you don't do, because you will live to regret it, trying to impress them. Because maybe they can't get those good grades, but then they're going to talk you down and don't want
Yeah.
you to, do it. Are you able to hear me?
I think that's crazy too. And it becomes habitual if you continue that. It becomes a habit, and you can't break free of it, and you place yourself. You don't want to mold yourself to be that way. Don't be afraid to be your best self. As we've heard before, don't hide your shine. It's okay. He did very well in middle school as far as improving each year academically, and just being like a solid student. And behavior wise, he was, that's when he got involved with the Scout. He did really great, but he went to all male school that was new in our community. They were tough. They were tough. Those boys, he ran across some cats that really gave him a hard time, because um we live in what some may call the hood, but he wasn't hood. You know what I mean? And so he was well behaved, had manners, and carried himself, dressed up. He wasn't sagging, didn't have his pants down. Um, every other word wasn't a curse word. He wasn't using profanity, and all those things. And he was teased, even though he was excelling each year and getting better in school. Sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, I'm patting him on the back. He was working hard. He was doing tutoring, but he so much about it was basically bullying. He was teased, bullied, and he just didn't get why. But I just let him know, you just keep being your best self. You are not, you have a light, and that's, they're attracted to you. But some at that age, kids don't know how to process that, especially when you're different. And so it comes off as they target you and tease you and bully you. And so I've had countless conversations with him about that, to the point where I'm like, okay, I am talking till I'm blue in the face. Let me look. Like, you want to call Pastor so and so? He had like 4 mentors, and I was like, okay, who do you want to talk to? A, B, C, D, E. Call somebody, send them a text. I surrender. I don't know what else to say. And a lot of time, and he needed to hear that. A man, he did. He needed to hear some of the things I was saying. But I'm sure from a male perspective and from a man's experience and him remembering what it was like school or a teenager, they could put a spin on it that I can come close to. I always tell myself I can do my best to raise you to be a human being, a productive human being, but I don't lie to myself and say I could raise you to be a man. I can raise my son to be a man all by myself. I don't lie to myself. That's a lie. For a woman, you need male input in their lives. You need some tour and someone who keep it real to with them from perspective. I didn't grow up with brothers. I'm divorced and I'm a single parent. And so I know right now that I had to call on my village. And, I had to use courage. I couldn't be fearful or ashamed or, I'm going to go back and tell my business kind of thing. Some mother let their child open up to somebody else because they're afraid of what it may reveal about their household environment or something like that. Look, I don't pretend to have it all together. I needed some help. So during those years, we leaned heavily, and even now, we leaned heavily on our mentors, and God placed some great men in His path and in my life to open up and be and just share and listen to him and give some feedback, and it has helped tremendously.
That is awesome. That's what we need. The
Very
village
grateful.
stepping in and stepping up. All right. So, Jocelyn, do you feel young men tend to be more reckless when they are hanging out with their friends than they normally would?
Absolutely. Especially if they're with the wrong crowd. And I know that by experience. I remember when I was young, things were a little different. It wasn't so much social media. We hung out. We went walking and all that stuff. Us, but I know that I got into stuff with the crew, and so I do know that it, it can definitely have more reckless when they're with their peers, especially all it takes is that one that is like the leader of the pack who has that influence the rest of them, and sometimes they use that power in a not so positive way um, to to really flex their muscle, to really to be leader of the pack. And so and like I said, in today's society, with our teens and with our middle school and teenage boys, they think you are supposed to be hard. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about these girls, I would tell him half the things they're telling you they're not even doing. They didn't just heard it from somebody else. But if you don't know any better, you're thinking you have to match that.
Right, right.
And so is I know for sure, yes, they more reckless together. They could be reckless together versus if they didn't have those influences, and they would definitely hang on with the better crowd or the right crowd.
All right. Yep, that would be the young men. I mean, because you can only do so much when you have them with you. You try to teach them the right things to do, how to behave, be respectful, whatever. And so you see them, and that's what they're doing. But when they get with their friends, sometimes it's easy. It's like well, I just want to do like they're doing. So it's important, that as they go along and mimic their friends, and they understand now mimicking your friends, but is your friend doing something right or something wrong? Because if they're doing something wrong and you get caught, you're going down too. So yeah, that can get them in trouble. So Jocelyn, I've known
Yes,
you.
that's why it's so important for him to be himself, because if you see, if if he sees of something wrong, you should be able to try to encourage that, or curve that in on to the right path. And that's why it's so important to be yourself. You be in the light. They may be soft, but when they go home, that even at 14, 15, 16, there's a conviction. If you have any type of relationship with God, there's a conviction that may set in their heart. They may not want to reveal that to you in that moment that you address something or call. I said, no, man, let's not go over here, man. I'm chilling down here. I'm not going over there, or I'm not going to go around there and hang with those guys. Man, I know that they may have a gun, or so and so had a gun a day, or so they was talking about robbing this person. Let's just stay over here and chill, man. I don't need that trouble in my life. Man, you soft. They might say that to you, but they know that you're right, and they'll go home and they'll think about that, and they'll appreciate you. They're gonna always remember you. You know what? He was a pretty cool dude. They're gonna grow and realize, that's that was he just stay on the straight and narrow path. He wasn't looking for trouble. And they appreciate that in the end. They really do. And that sticks with them.
Yes, be a good example to stand out in the crowd. Don't fit in, stand out. So Jocelyn, I have known you probably about a year now. So, unlike the other people, you kind of watch people and you take in whatever. And I think that you are a phenomenal mom, as I just love Damien to death. I haven't met your daughter, but I just adore Damien. So I love the dedication and the interaction that you have with him and what you have done on your journey as a single mom to ensure. Uh, so, what have you done as a single mom to ensure that you have stayed in front of situations as you've gone through your journey as a single mom?
Well, there's a lot of communication. He's always a let me initiate. He's very inquisitive, and I get to see where his mind is, and a lot of times time, mom. What about this? Mom, what about that? Mom, they were doing this at school, or they were showing porn on their phone. We talked about everything, and we still do. Not as much anymore now that he's 16 and 17. We covered a lot of that. Um, Early high school years, or eighth grade years. um, I just would be transparent. And even Damien is a special. I'm very blessed because he's not a troubled child even today. He was never one to get in trouble or get caught up with the wrong crowd and so forth. Years, oh, I'm talking about 10 years old, 11 years old, he would ask me questions. I was like, whoa, I'm not ready for that. And I had to tell myself, if he asks a question, he's ready for a straight answer. And so I would always watch my reaction. Now, once I finish talking to him, I might close my door and flip out. But I always told myself, hey, if he is asking a question, he's absolutely ready for a straight answer. And so I would make sure I just shot it to him straight without being vulgar, without being too harsh. You don't want to traumatize your child, but you have the truth. You have to tell them straight when it comes to drugs, when it comes to sex, when it comes to um, bullying, or I don't like this teacher and this, that, and this, and that. I said, hey, you got this teacher for 1 year. teachers you need. Think about that. I said 1 year and you're going on to the next thing. I said you don't have to like the teacher to get what that teacher has to offer you. And that's your job. And so just little stuff like transparency, um, being honest and open and not overreacting has been a key because not overreacting, he always feels free to come to me. Um, I'm real good at keeping my cool, and it doesn't always come natural. But I made it a practice to because I want my child, both children, to be able to come to me. I don't want my kids afraid to come to me because they think I'm a blue or they think I'm a flip out. Where did you get that from? Who told you that? And blah blah blah. So at point it's just I've taught myself to say, hey, keep it cool. You have one time to raise these children. One time. I only have one time to raise them. And I know I'm not perfect, but I do my best to get it right the first time, because what the saying is, it's hard to fix broken men. It's easier to raise a child up the right way than to try to help repair a broken man. I don't want to have those issues when I'm a mother, when they're 25 and 30 years old and they're questioning me about X, Y, and Z, why you did this, or they're bringing their scars to me and holding me accountable for their scars. I nobody time for that. I just want to raise them right first time, because I only get one time. I only get one chance to raise your children.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So God loans them to us, and so we have to make the best of that time that we have them to ensure they're where they need to be. And I love that you say communication because communication is so important between parents and their children. Because if not talking to parents, then they're going to go talk to someone else, and that someone else may not be the right person for them to talk to. And you have to have what I call those candid conversations, those crucial candid conversations, and you have to be honest with them. So it sounds like you have a good formula there going on, and it looks like it is really working.
Yeah.
Okay, in Build Your Best Life, in my book, I make the statement, don't look at the crowd and attempt to fit in, but stand out. As a parent, please give the audience some nuggets on the importance of being yourself. Some little nuggets that you can drop for everyone. And then she dropped these nuggets. Y'all put them in the chat.
Be yourself. You are first and foremost honoring God when you're being yourself. And to have a real talk with myself, and that, because it's easy to get caught up. So when you're not being your true self, you're not giving God created. He created us unique and in his own broke the mold when he made me, when he made my son. So be your true self. I try to tell my son, you don't owe me, you don't have to be like me, you don't have to be like your dad. God brought you to this earth through us, but he made you special. He put that spirit in you. The spirit in you is not the same spirit that's in me. I mean, it's the Holy Spirit, but your spirit is unique because your purpose in the earth is not the same as mine. So you're not honoring God when not true to yourself, and you will never feel any sense of satisfaction or you never feel any satisfaction when you're not being true to who you are. You will always feel like you're chasing the eight ball. What's wrong with me? Why this person don't like me? Why that person don't like me? Why can't I get my foot through the door? You miss out on a lot of opportunities. It's not rewarding being anybody else than who you are. And then when you are your true self, you can identify the flaws that you want to fix and work on that, because none of us are perfect, or, we have areas in our lives that we want to improve. But if you are not being honest with the person in the mirror, you're not going to work on yourself to improve in those areas. And so you are just shortchanging yourself. And, I let them know that's a process. I think at in life, you have to remind yourself, hey, you know, what is God telling me? What is in my spirit? What is really for me in this next area to venture off in? Let me listen to what's being spoken to me so I can proceed I am supposed to proceed. If you got your eyes on everybody else, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss your window, you're gonna miss your opportunity, and then life can be a little miserable.
All right, y'all heard Miss Jocelyn. You need to honor yourself. I mean, uh, didn't say honor yourself, honor God. All right, be yourself, honor God,
God,
identify your flaws so that you can work on them. And you want to be proud of that person that you look at when you look in the mirror. But it's very, very important that we work on ourselves to be better. So we thank you for those nuggets. And thank you so much for joining us today with Parent Chat. Is there something that you want to leave with us, something that you have going on uh, that you want to talk about?
well, as far as for Damien, him and OC, they will be singing Sunday and at church at Pathway of Life Church. So those of you who are local, you're welcome to join. If you're not ready to come back into the church building, for anyone who is watching, regardless where you are, we do go live. You will thoroughly enjoy our service. Again, that's Pathway of Life Church. We're live. We start at 10 a.m. On me, just stay tuned in on the Mary Kay page on Facebook, Miss Jocelyn with Mary Kay. And I am picking up the pace with posting stuff more frequently on there. And I'm there to help take care of your skincare needs, any questions you have, and just to connect. I love to connect with people. And if you want to know more about my wellness, my shopping wellness network, just send me a DM. It's all about healthy living for the whole household, your toiletries, your everything in the house is all natural, organic, and just better for your family. And so I would love to share that with you, but we could chat one on one if you want to reach me. But you can definitely contact me on Facebook with as Jocelyn Charles or Miss Jocelyn with Mary Kay.
Okay, and you can also, Jocelyn, when you get an opportunity, to put it in the comments, your information, so that they can maybe hear the guys on Sunday, whatever, but put the information in the comment section here so they can make sure that they are able to get in contact with you. And I'm privileged to have Damien, I think he's going to be third Tuesday. He will be on as my youth, and he's going to have a discussion with us. So I'm looking forward to that. And next week we will have an educator on as well. The group, the OCs, I'm going to feature them later on this month. So I'm excited about that as well. And I had an opportunity to listen to some of their music on, what was it, Christmas Eve.
And I won't get the time.
Yeah. So very good.
Yes. We were so glad that you joined us. It was wonderful. They were so excited, and I was excited with them. with them is a blessing. And that was pretty much a last minute thing, but they needed the experience and they loved it. And it turned out really good, that listening party. So thank you again, Miss Deborah, for supporting boys. The OCs is Damien, Isaiah, and Courtney Bell. And thank you so much for joining in. It meant so much to us and meant to me and Damien. And just for your mentoring and connect him as you did a year ago. It was just a blessing. And I was like, okay, when Coach Ricardo Miller gave us your contact information, I was like, oh, I'm all on it. Who can pour into my son, and I knew you were on. I knew you were the real deal if he referred you to me. And so he was like, "Hey, RJ has talked to this lady, Miss Deborah Smith. I'm sending her information." That's all he had to say. I just took it from there and I ran with it. So I'm so glad we were able to connect. And I look forward to what the future has. And I am proud of you and your show. I can as much as I can. And you've been a blessing. You've been a blessing to me as a parent. And thank you for what you've done directly and individually with staying in touch with Damien.
Oh, no problem. I enjoy it. So thank you so much. And I'll be getting in contact with you so we can, I can get everything I need for later this month. And everyone, if you could please go on my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. You can see my calendar of events, find out more about my platform. And my passion is helping young adults and youth, males, to be the best that they can be. And I wrote a book, Build Your Best Life, in order to try to get that information out to more people. And it's basic principles that I think all our young men need to know. Years ago, they were all taught about being a man and their credibility and what their name was worth and being respectful to women and how to treat them. And I think some of that information has fallen along the wayside, but I think all of it's key and will assist them. So again, visit my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, Jocelyn. And I look forward to collaborating with you again. And everyone, as you go on your journey to be a better
you, Miss Deborah.
I'm sorry?
I said, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So as you go on your journey to be a better you, there will be rough terrain, detours, distractions, and pitfalls. Don't let any of these negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be the best you so that you can build your best life. Thank you, bless you, love you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks again, Jocelyn.